What has the last 2 weeks done for your group, just in the sense of building some confidence, especially guys at the top like Keyshawn and Ontario?
I think Keyshawn, I think he's kind of taking ownership and more of a role of setting a standard when it comes to just the fundamentals and the technique and practice, focusing on the little things and not worrying about what you can't control. And I think that's really helped a lot of the other guys and the young guys to stay locked in to the details and assignments, and finishing plays. And I think that's been the difference, just seeing a guy like him work day in and day out, and not complaining about anything, just going out and doing his job. And the other guys are seeing that, young guys are seeing that, and I think it's contagious, and other guys are feeling the same.
Coach Dillingham talked some about maybe the frustration over the work being in, not showing up on Saturday, kind of the results not matching the work that's going in. I guess how big do you think Saturday was for kind of flipping that?
Really big. I mean, guys got they got a chance to catch the football and make some plays down the field. Not only that, do a good job on the perimeter. In the run game, they did a good job of fitting up and finishing blocks. Like I said, getting the opportunity to make some plays down the field. And I thought that was really big for those guys, and it was helping build the confidence. Seeing the results from the hard work that they put in the past couple of weeks.
For a true freshman, how good is Malik Mclean at doing that perimeter blocking and getting upfield and taking on safeties?
He's done a really good job as far as knowing who to block, fitting up on guys. Still some technical stuff that we got to work on. Having tight hands, getting his hands inside, restarting his feet. But for us, he was a downfield blocker of the week. So he's done a good job with that, and he's taking ownership in it. He knows, if you don't block, you don't play. And he wants his game to be, not just one-dimensional guy. He wants to be a all-around wide receiver. And he's starting to show that.
The leadership you're talking about for Keyshawn, how important is this? Isn't a group that's got a lot of upperclassmen,
Right.
a bunch of guys that moved on for different reasons. So you don't have a lot of older guys. So how important is that?
I think it's been very important, because just as a former player, you needed that leadership from older guys. Had E.G. Green and Andre Cooper that was here, Wayne messing those guys, and that was a plus and a bonus for me to have those type of guys to lead. And I feel like Keyshawn, not only does he talk about it, but he goes out and he shows it as well. And I just told him that was very important for other guys to see him. No matter if you feel like it or you don't feel like it, you set a standard, you set the bar on how things should go. When it comes to the operation, the daily routine, and how you work and how you lead a group. And he's taking ownership in it, and I think it's really big for the younger guys to see it, because when I meet with these guys weekly, all those guys bring up Keyshawn when they come in and we meet one-on-one. It's amazing how everybody brings up Keyshawn, in the meeting that we have together one-on-one. And I think that speaks volumes for Keyshawn.
How do you guys communicate a departure in terms of expectations?
Yeah, it's just a daily or weekly when I meet with AP. Just the expectations of him is just being a detailed football player, finishing plays, and there's a standard, that we live by, So every week, we sit down and we talk about, hey, this is what you need to focus on this week. You want the opportunity to contribute to the team, and I think just weekly, continue to communicate with him and helping him grow. It's been a slow process, but he's coming along.
Is that something that you can, at the halfway point of the season, would the urgency be more on him? You think that maybe embrace the messaging more, an opportunity for him now to really make an impact with you?
Yeah, well, you've seen other guys going out there making plays. That should light a fire up under you when they want to go out and do the same thing to help the ball club. So I think it has. We'll see. The rest of the week and next week.
Does having Jordan Travis in the huddle consistently the last 2 weeks affect your segment group?
I wouldn't say that it affects the segment group, because we always talk about the details and spacing of concepts, all those different things that we got to do as receivers to make sure we're on the same page with the quarterback. So for us, it's whether it's Milton or Travis, you know, it doesn't matter who it is back there. We just want to make sure we're spaced up for the QB, you know, and not leave those guys out to dry, you know. So we always talk about the little things, you know, the spacing and the blocking, and even on motions, you know, where we're supposed to be. And I think that's been really big for us, just paying attention to the details, and it helps out the quarterbacks knowing that we're going to be where we need to be, and not only within the concepts, but on scramble drills. Like Keyshawn had a big scramble drill for a third down completion in the game as well. You know, so that's been big for us to, no matter who it is, we're going to communicate, you know, with those guys and make sure we're on the same page.
I noticed, I don't know if he's traveled before, but Parker traveled. Is he getting closer to where he might be able to help you guys out at some point?
Parker's growing, you know, a lot. You know, I told him to be able to contribute to the teams. It starts with special teams, but the kid has done an unbelievable job. You know, he's been really patient. You know, he kind of during the game kind of came and leaned on my shoulder, like Coach, it's time. And I'm like, get your hand off my shoulder. you know. But he's been patient. I like the progress he's been making this year. The kid, he's got an opportunity to do some good things for us.
He's a confident kid.
Yes, sir.
Is it hard to judge a walk-on like during practice? Can you tell if a walk-on is someone that you guys can maybe depend on?
Well, I mean, just early on when you get a walk-on, you can tell by his movement, you know, change of direction, you know, ball skills, you know, those different things. And then you look at, you know, how well does the guy study? Does he take no reps when he's not going? You know, so you put those guys in those situations that you know he didn't get the reps. You know, he didn't get the reps of walkthrough. But let me throw him out there to see if he was paying attention. You know, and Parker's been one of those guys who's been paying attention.